Joining us now is Naomi Krashnan from her home in Montreal. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to speak with you today.
Great. Okay, so let's go back in time a little bit before we talk about what you're doing now and tell everybody how you got into this unusual profession.
Yes, it is an unusual profession. Well, I started, dancing at the age of 4, and I got into theater professionally pretty early and studied theater in university. And then I started branching out to different art forms and got into clown in my 20s. And always I had some experiences growing up in the hospital or seeing my grandparents in long-term care homes that were isolating and felt challenging to see my grandparents alone and to be alone myself in the hospital. And I thought, this is a place where there needs something to shake things up, some emotion, some pleasure, some joy. um, just because I'm sick or just because they're in a long-term care home doesn't mean they don't have a spirit left, you know. So yeah, so I always sort of wanted to go into something good with the arts, and I was interested in therapeutic clown once I heard about it. And it was a long process, and I moved to Montreal for love and started training with a clown teacher here and learning French. And then in 2018, I joined Dr. Clown here, Fondation Dr. Clown.
So getting a clown nose doesn't give you actually like an MD, but it does mean that you're able to do not just some random magic show for little kids, the specific training that you go through, right? In order to be properly, in order to interact properly with your patients. What kind of things do you have to do as a therapeutic clown that, a magic clown that goes to kids' parties doesn't do?
There's a whole bunch of training involved, hours and hours of training and retraining every year, every month. We have regular training in how to work with specific clientele. So children with autism or children in hospital setting, ICU, seniors in a home, seniors with dementia, um, various different, we're in tons and tons of establishments, 70 plus in Quebec, Quebec City, Montreal, and Trois-Rivières. So we get lots of training on the therapeutic elements, how to touch properly and how to use touch in a therapeutic way, how to sense all around you, the room, how to work with the parent of a child, how to work with the staff, all the different ways. And so we do get all that training on top of the artistic training you already have to be a therapeutic clown.
So everybody of a certain age might know of the Robin Williams film Patch Adams, where he becomes the red-nosed doctor and goes and brings joy. So how does a clown add to the already, big staff of the doctors, the nurses, the orderlies? What's your job?
So yes, we're like a music therapist in a sense. We join the recreation department or the child life specialist or the educator in a school, for example, and we sort of join what they're doing with their clients. But for us, there are really two goals. One, we bring joy wherever we go with whoever we're with, actually three-ish goals. We're in the present moment with whatever's there, whatever emotion, whatever experience is happening. If there's anger, if there's joy already, if there's sadness, we see it, we're with it, we're present to it. And then we move on from there or transform it or go into it. And then the third thing is really important. We work to empower our clients. So we knock before we go in any room. The patient, the client is allowed to say no. And if they say no, we say goodbye. Sometimes we play and we walk past and we'll say, still a no? Okay, bye. Still a no? Okay, bye. But we respect the no, because in the hospital setting, someone has to come in and take blood and things are urgent and can't always ask. And for a senior, there's a lot of loss of like
Agency.
autonomy.
Yeah, agency and autonomy.
Agency. So for us to be able to ask if we can come in and to respect their wish, or also respect their state wherever they are, whatever they want, whatever their sense of humor is, um, yeah, whatever their style of music is, we adapt. We're very much about adapting and empowering and bringing some joy where we can.
Okay, so the pandemic hits.
Mhm.
How does that change everything for your work?
Yeah, we can't go in. So we couldn't go in as soon as the pandemic hit. Actually, Dr. Clown said, hold on, let's not go in. We decided not to, um, because we don't want to pose any risk. And pretty immediately, the artistic team and the administrative team at Dr. Clown were rock stars and came out with tons of projects for us. So we immediately went online and started nose to nose visits. So visiting kids and visiting seniors on an iPad, on a screen. Two clowns were always working in duos, two clowns in their own homes, um, playing with the screen, working out of our own homes, and the client as well on a screen.
And I haven't asked you about your character. Can you tell us if you only play one or two or like who are you as a clown?
um, so, well, for me and a lot of the artists, we came in with a clown identity, if not more than one. And so that's usually the clown we use in the hospital setting or with children and even with adults and teenagers. And then we've adapted our clown for seniors to be, I can show you, we've adapted our clown for seniors to be a little bit in the time period that we're meeting them in. So we dress for the 1950s, for example. We sing Elvis and Louis Armstrong and sort of some of the music that fits in a reminiscence type of way. And I've had many people tell me, "Oh, I wore that dress," or "Oh, I had those shoes," or "Oh, this song reminds me of when I was dancing with my husband," and lots of beautiful, beautiful moments. So.
So as far as you know, you're the only Jewish therapeutic clown in Montreal, in Quebec.
As far as I know, yes. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in Quebec. There must be other Jewish clowns across Canada, and I look forward to meeting them. I don't know, actually.
How does that inform your performance if, connecting perhaps with seniors in a Jewish way that maybe your colleagues may not know from, not being in the tribe?
For me, and some of them know a lot of Jewish songs as well. For me, we had a beautiful moment with a resident. It was on Passover. And I had my box of matzah next to my screen, and I wished a lovely gentleman, happy Passover, and he said back, he's not someone who speaks regularly, and he said back, "Happy Passover." And the recreation specialist was like, "Oh my God, I haven't heard him speak in over a year," and so we had we've had some beautiful Jewish connections for sure. But sometimes it's not Jewish at all. It's just about emotion and humanity and love and yeah.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
After having gone through this long period, you did personally lose some clients. I know this must have been extremely hard for you. What was that process like, listening every day or seeing every day the news about some of your patients who had died of COVID?
Yes, it was really painful. It was very, very painful for us, as I imagine it was also for the staff that were there. Um, it was very challenging because usually we're used to seeing death and we're used to seeing decline, and we're also used to seeing success. So a child who can leave the hospital because they're doing better. And so we couldn't see sort of life pass in a normal way, and we couldn't prepare and grieve with our partner if we're watching something, or if we're a part of something difficult, a difficult moment. um, So it was very challenging for sure.
So now that Quebec is reopening, what does that mean for your profession and, where you do what you're going to do going forward?
Right. So now that things are reopening, we've started already to do some outdoor visits and cheer on staff during the shift change and visit seniors in gardens. And we're starting to go back into other centers and schools. That's coming imminently. But some of the virtual will stay as well.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.